Welcome back, my cartilage-filled breathing apparatuses. It's SJB here, and if you guys know anything about me, you know that I love April Fools. So I fooled you guys. Some of you don't watch till the very end of the video, but my previous video was the fake patch notes, and these are the real patch notes. And even though it is technically April Fools right now as I speak this is a real video, okay? I'm not messing with you this time. This is a real video. That being said, we got to go over the changes really quickly. So first of all, the biggest change is obviously that you need to make sure you use my creator support code. And then beyond that, so I like to focus on the balance changes, but of course we have to talk about this. Ooh, would you look at that? We've got the test Moab. So the reason why this is kind of nice is because you can specifically test out like bonus damage and stuff like that against a specifically Moab class balloon, which is kind of cool for testing purposes, right? Sandbox mode, it should have something like this. I like it a lot. Legends got a bunch of changes, but I don't want to focus on them today. I want to make a specific Rogue Legends video for you guys fairly soon, which honestly is turning out to be a pretty good-looking game overall. I mean, like, all of the issues that a lot of people had with the game in the first place are seemingly being resolved fairly quickly, and I think they're going to make it better and better over time as well, which is kind of exciting. So if you guys haven't checked this out, at least give it like a quick try, and then it's $10, so it's not cheap, but it's not an awful price for what you're getting out of it. Wow, is this the first hero with a 4th skin? I believe it is. The She-Ra Prestige Pack. Oh. Is that the only way to get it? Oh, what? Oh, that's lame. You can't spend monkey money. This is the first one you can't do that for. I'm upset about that. On to the balance changes. Very minor changes for the Sharp Shooter. We got a projectile speed increase. That's kind of interesting. So you go, but not attack speed. Attack cooldown, though, is also actually, yeah, it's also cooldown as well from 0.6 to 0.475. Roughly like a 20% attack speed increase, which is honestly pretty good because a lot of things have been getting buffed, but this thing still feels kind of weak for what it does, except for Moabs. Now it's going to be a great Moab popper, though. I think this is going to be like clearly the best Moab popper in the game. I mean, this is without quick shots and very quick shots. Look at that damage, man. We had popped him up all the way down to nothing with a few $1,000 tower here. In addition, though, the Crossbow Master attack cooldown is going to go down just a tiny, absolute baby smidge here. I'm okay with it. I mean, it's like literally a smidge is like a 2%. I don't really understand why, but okay. All right, I'm going to go over these changes fairly quickly. First of all, I just want to say that the Glaive Lord got a complete rework, basically. I mean, I'm talking about damage increased kind of across the board for everything, but the bonus damage got decreased across the board for pretty much everything. The orbit got changed, the regular attacks got changed, the speed of everything got changed. Everything's just kind of all over the place. I cannot tell you if he's good or bad. Just know that he is a thing, and he's got changed quite drastically. In addition, probably the most interesting change here is the Morgue Glaives. So the Morgue Glaives got in my opinion, a huge buff. All right, he's $1,000 cheaper, which was kind of the problem with going for him, was that he was $3,000. Usually he was outclassed by Dragon's Breath or, you know, Middle Path Cannon or something kind of in the middle part of the game here. Morgue Glaives now $1,000 cheaper, but because of that, he loses 20 Pierce. To me, I didn't care about getting the full Pierce out of him. I felt like I never actually reached it. So if we could take down around 49 by ourselves without even any cross paths, that's delish. Definitely excited about that. Bottom path-wise, we've got some interesting changes here. Basically, Moab Press got a little bit worse. Okay, just in general, Moab Press is going to be a little bit slower. We're talking from 0.75 to 8 seconds. And when you do fast throwing and even faster rings, the attack cooldown will also be slower than it used to be by a smidge amount. But it makes more sense to go for it because when you finally get to the Moab Dom, it doesn't get the bonuses of the previous attack speed that you got for going top path, so it makes a lot of sense to go for faster rings on this guy, and believe it or not, Moab Dom is really good still. I mean, this is a bad balloon, and I mean, you can see that the damage here is just it definitely not bad at all with faster rings. Definitely think about this cross path, like hardcore. Think about it. We can easily take down a bad balloon on this map, no problem by himself. That's pretty good. Ooh, actually, I'm kind of excited about this change. So, Blade Shooter, its range is going to go from 31 to 46 just by getting a Blade Shooter. Look at the size of that thing. Woo! Now, imagine if you end up popping down some increased range action with primary expertise and stuff. Like, this thing is going to end up being big. All right, this is not bad. I mean, this is like reaching across the map with a Blade Shooter. I want to see this in action, just like out of curiosity. Let's do a BFB. So I can at least see it in action. Oh, look at those blades! They're going across the map! Holy crap. And of course, you can boost him even further, man. But That means that the Super Strom is going to have increased range as well, which I am totally down for. They nerfed the crap out of this thing by taking away his lead popping power. This is a good way to buff him back up and make him a reasonable tower in the game right now. Wow, check this out. Cryo Cannon. I did not realize how absolutely beeftastic Ninja Kiwi made this thing. So, not good to show it against those balloons, but the damage is from 2 down to 1 now. You just have 2 damage. I did not even realize that. That's pretty absurd, but Icicle's damage will remain 2. So, not technically nerfing him, but the previous upgrade now makes this feel worthwhile, I guess. The charge damage is increased from 2 to 3 on the Icicles, which I'm totally down for. Any increased damage, you'll love to see it. You'll love to watch it happen. Just blow that crap up. I mean, it's just like actually deleting the balloons now. In addition, we've got some changes to the middle path ice here as well. We've got Arctic Winds. Price decrease from 2,800 to 2,500. Snowstorm price from 38 to 4,000. So taking away a little bit of money on 3rd tier, adding a little bit back to the 4th tier. Small-ish change there, and then absolute zero passive Moab slow from 20 to 30%. So if you guys have not seen this in action yet, this was, I think, a change in the last update, if not the update before that. It means that you can slow down Moabs with the aura itself. So it's worthwhile to actually put this down maybe near the front-ish part of the map or whatnot, and let him actually slow things down to let your other towers do more damage overall. Balloon Solver is too strong, according to Ninja Kiwi. They want to fix that. So the bonus Moab damage is going to be decreased from 5 to 4. Okay. I mean, I could solo round 98 with the Balloon Solver if I put him in the right spot, which is just absurd. Okay, it shouldn't have happened. It was one of the best towers in the game by far. I don't know if this makes it fairer, but it's still going to be a really solid tower across the board, and the 3rd and 4th tiers are still really good too, so do not underestimate these things. Glue Strike got a small change here. So the Glue Strike balloon bonus damage from 2 to 3 when you end up striking them. The 5th tier, damage over time tick rate 2.3 to 2, so we're going to make it a little bit quicker, but it no longer changes the tick rate to get a 205. And the splat on the pop now deals 1 damage. So, no huge changes here, just like little things going on with the Glue Strike and Glue Storm. Okay, across the board, weird changes for the sniper here. So, first of all, the 4th tier supply drop got a slight buff to increase his bounce pierce from 4 to 5. Okay, I mean, it makes sense to make him actually be better than the 3rd tier, besides just giving you money. Okay, coolio. The 5th tier Elite Sniper now, price decreased by $500, so they're making you want to go for the middle path sniper a little bit more. The Deadly Precision Sniper is going to be changed from 3,000 to 2,500, so making this thing actually maybe worthwhile to go for, but still probably not, to be honest. And then they're adding that money back onto Moab, kind of. They're making it $350 more expensive, still making Moab overall cheaper by a little bit. All right, Monkey Ace changes. So, Zarbomba bombing run damage changed from 30 down to 25. If you guys haven't seen this in action, it basically, for the most part, killed almost anything it dropped bombs on until really late game. It was pretty good, but I didn't think it was absurd. Yeah, it was kind of fair, but it did make weird things. Like, I think somebody pulled off a 1-tower chimps with a Zarbomba, which is pretty freaking crazy. In addition, we've got the Never-Miss targeting. So, the Never-Miss targeting now... Oh, look at this! So I really think that it truly might be Never-Miss now. It might be. So first of all, the acceleration went from 20 to 50, so you can see it actually goes and like shoots at the balloons, right? In addition, the max speed went from 180 to 350. Oh baby! All right. That's cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, they're not lying to us now. They wanted to make sure it was never missing. All right, all really interesting changes here. So first of all, the Heli pilot get a price decrease of $100 as a base tower. It does make it so it's not as important to get a 2/3 price Heli pilot decrease on a non-chimps game. Other than that, I don't see it's going to think of it as like a huge deal to get a slightly cheaper Heli pilot. He was never bad though. Even a base Heli pilot was like a reasonable tower to put down in the game for infinite range and all that fun stuff. Though to even it out, the Razor rotors is going to end up being $100 more expensive, and then the Moab shove price is also going to be $100 more expensive to even it out, like changing the price to lower at the beginning and then going to even it out by the time you get to the 3rd tiers. Randomly, though, in addition to that, we've got a small change to support Chinook. It's going to be a little bit faster. So just running around here all across the map, a little bit faster, 70 to 80. And then the minimum blowback distance is going to be changed to a little bit higher. So I don't think that's going to matter much for us, but it's going to go from 32 to 64. So at the very least, it's going to blow back pretty far. Right, guys, we've got a pretty redonkulous change here. Hydro Rocket Pods is now going to be the same price, but the explosion damage is going to go from 1 to 2. Woohoo! 2! Tiddly-hoo! What? Okay, that is pretty absurd. I mean, doubling the power of Hydro Rocket Pods? Is that a good idea, DigiKiwi? I don't think so. This guy was already pretty okay. I mean, I guess he was a little bit outclassed by some other towers. But dang, that is beef-tastic for all the balloons there. And that was with a base 030. Imagine if we get powerful darts or alchemy or something like that. This thing could end up being absolutely absurd. I mean, like, let's just check out round 63 really quickly. Like, see, is this going to be strong enough to take down round 63 by itself? Oh my god, are you kidding me? Not only can it take down round 63, it takes it down easily. Easily, like, no mic. I don't want to say no micro, but like, I'm not trying very hard here, and it's just taking it down. Oh, that could be a mistake. All right, in addition, Ray of Doom damage 25 to 30, so okay, whatever. Holy crap, this is going to change the game completely. Wizard price as a base wizard just went from 325 down to 250. I guess they said if you can already do a double wizard start on chimps mode, why not just say screw it? Wizards suck. They're not any better than a dart monkey. In fact, they're probably worse than a dart monkey to start off the game with, but that does allow you to get a guided magic wizard in addition to, I think, a second wizard, all with like $650 or close to it on round 1 or maybe 2. So that could be a great way to start on almost any map here, doing a double wizard start. Definitely pumped for that. I don't know if that's going to like change the game completely, but I like it. Guided magic price, though, it did increase to $175 from $150, so a slight change with that. Arcane Mastery price is going to go up that $50 to make it finally even out once you get to that third tier here. Arcane Spike's Fireball bonus Moab damage +6, and Arcane Spike's Wall of Fire bonus Moab damage +2. So Arcane Spike now, definitely worth it to go for the middle path here instead of just going intense magic. Or at least worth checking it out. Do you need that monkey sense, or do you want to go for the damage? It's kind of up to you on that one. Archmage, Wall of Fire bonus mode damage, 8 down to 6. Not sure why they made that lower for some reason, but okay. And then the Mage's Metamorphose cooldown, 120 down to 90. I don't really play with the Wizard Paragon, so I cannot tell you if that's good or bad, but it is a thing. All right, we got a couple changes for Super Monkeys, but nothing ridiculous. Tech Terror Pierce reduced from 8 to 7. It was already a good tower, but they've been nerfing it a lot lately. It's still got a great ability, though, which is kind of like the main thing about it. For the bottom path here, we've got the Dark Champion range increased from 53 to 57. I don't know why. Maybe there's something about like it being able to jump around properly or something. I don't know, but okay. And then the Legend of the Night no longer gains range to get up to that 57. So Legend of the Night is just going to be there. Such a minor change. Whoa, 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 whoa. Are you kidding me? Rubber to gold. Rubber to gold. This was one of the best. If you're not playing in chimps mode, rubber to gold is freaking amazing. Hold on. Rubber to gold potion attack rate from 5 down to 2. Rubber to gold potion splash from 14 to 21. The larger radius benefits the rubber to gold potion. Oh, reason to go for larger potions here. And rubber to gold potion duration increased from 7 to 14, so it's never going to wear off. They did nerf it at some point, but why are we not rubber to... Oh, because we're not rubber to golding. Okay, that's why we didn't have it. Oh my god! Rubber to gold! Dude, if you're not using rubber to golds every day of the week, that's not a chimps game, you are an idiot. Just straight up, use rubber to golds. You're going to be so happy. Alright, next up we've got the Druid changes. So, there's quite a few of them here. The main thing, though, is that the Druid of the Jungle is going to take less long to pop small balloons than it does to pop large balloons, which is weird, because it may be worth it to put them on, like, close instead of on strong, because you get more random vines popping out that could do more damage. Where if you leave him on strong here, he's going to keep grabbing the ceramics, and then it's going to, like, last as long, but you're not going to get as many vines popping out. So it's kind of like a weird strategy thing to think about for the Druid of the Jungle. Do you want it to have more vines, or do you want it to specifically hit that strong balloon? I don't know. I think close might actually be, honestly, the best option, oddly. Maybe last, but probably close. Maybe first, if you want to. The Spirit of the Forest base cash generation, 320 to 1280. So when you use this ability, man, getting $1,000 is pretty fair. It always seemed really weak to me. It's not going to change the game or anything, but making money per round plus grabbing this cash is going to be pretty delish, if you ask me. But, of course, Spirit of the Forest buffs. I mean, of course, right? All right, so the Vine duration on the Druid of the Jungle is going to go up from 4.5 to 6. The Jungle Bounty Vine duration is going to go from 9 to 12, so it's going to last even longer, and it's going to obviously have the double vines happening here, so it's good, right? Or does not have double vines anymore. I thought it did, but I guess maybe it doesn't. Okay. Is it attacking twice as fast? It should be, but I think it's that ceramic action that just makes it feel like it's not, right? Because it's, again, attacking the big balloons slower. Okay, some really minor range changes to the top path Druid. Basically, if you don't end up getting the Druid of Reach, your range is going to be lower. So it makes it possibly worthwhile to go for the bottom path here to get Heart of the Vengeance, but I don't think it's that big of a deal to change the small bit of range here. Either which way, it's for both a 3rd, 4th, and 5th tier on these guys. All right, some more changes to the Mermonkey here, which I don't really use the Mermonkey enough to really like tell you it's good, it's bad, it makes sense, but Abyss Dweller price decreased by $800. And then they are going to re-add $600 of that to the Abyssal Warrior. So this was really already a pretty good-ish tower, in my opinion, if you can use him properly. That was the main problem. If you can use him properly, he was good. Smacking big chunks of ceramics down to nothing, like round 63 and whatnot, is pretty freaking amazing. Yeah, solid if you ask me, but again, has certain weaknesses to like big chunks of small group balloons, which is fair. In addition, we've got the middle path changes as well. So for the 3rd tier Mermonkey here, the Riptide Champion, you've got a freeze duration that's going to increase from 0.3 to 0.8. So, I mean, that's a big change. That's more than double, bro. It's gonna be. That does not look like. Well, that's just so tiny still. At 0.8 seconds is still like less than a second. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter. Yes, it is gonna last longer if you spam a couple of these puppies. It might make a difference. But who's spamming 3 Riptide Champions like that? I don't know. Not very many people, I don't think, but it's a possibility. You can make it happen if you want to. Infinistall with just 3 of them. In addition, the Arctic Knight ignores white unless it can damage. That is important. I like that. I feel like that should be a thing for most towers. You ignore it unless you can specifically see it or attack it. The Poseidon ability wave damage from 9 to 70. Holy crap. So from 9 to frickin' 70 on this guy. I don't know if that even's going to matter much, but, you know, it's a change. Poseidon ability wave damage type from Shatter to Frigid, though. So now it's officially an ice attack. For that thing. The fire arc range from 45 to 60 degrees on the Echo Sense. And interestingly enough, we've got the decamoization aspect moved to the Alluring Melody. It strips camo as a 3rd tier. So very similar to a wizard. You know, I mean, if you look at it, get the Shimmer versus the 3rd path Mermonkey, I mean, roughly even in price. Definitely does different things. Stalling versus decamoization, and not really doing anything besides shimmering, but other way, that's kind of interesting. Not sure I'm in love with it, but it is what it is. If you get the 0-1-3, you get a slightly higher pierce, and now you can no longer grab BFBs with the 4th tier, which makes sense. It was pretty beeftastic, and Final Harmonic no longer reduces the orbit range. Okay, good enough for me. It's going to be a pretty fair tower, in my opinion. No huge changes there, just some weird changes. Spike Factory, regularish changes, not like weird little tiny baby things. Spike Storm, price increase again. You gotta be kidding me. Like, this was my favorite upgrade when they had like $4,500. Now it's $7,500. Is this thing going to be worth it? I don't know. There's got to be other options for TDTs besides going for this guy, right? There's just not enough of them, in my opinion. Others weigh 6,000 to 7,000. The Carpet Spikes increase. That price is going to be decreased from the Carpet Spikes to make it again even. So it's going to be the same thing for the 5th tier. Randomly, the Deadly Spikes as the 4th tier here. It's going to be increased in damage from 2 to 3, and then the Perma Spike is going to be unchanged, though. All right, minor village change here. The primary mentoring 4th tier is going to have the ability Kulemba from 10 to 15, and then the 5th tier is going to go from 20 to 25, meaning that you might want to use more abilities in this section. So, Superstorm, ice and glue. I mean, like, combining these guys together with the primary expertise is going to be even freaking better, which is already pretty solid, dude. Like, do not underestimate this ridiculous combo right here, man. I don't want to say unstoppable, but, like, whew, on most maps up until advanced maps, this is going to be an easy automatic win for almost any map. Damn! We got some engineer changes. I don't want to say minor changes because they seemingly are small, but they, like, add up over time. So the Sentry Expert Crushing Sentry is now going to shoot slower by a smidge, like 10-ish%. Boom Sentry is also going to shoot slower by about 10%. The Trap Replacement delay on the Bottom Path Engineer is going to be slower by a decent amount. We're talking 2.8 down to 2.1. So I didn't think it was a big deal already. I thought this was like a pretty solid tower. So to have that go down is actually pretty crazy. The extra large trap is going to have the same thing from 2.8 to 2.1, and if you end up getting the faster engineering on it, it's even faster from 2.8 to 1.4. Interestingly enough, we've also got an interesting change to the oversized nails. So I don't know if this is, like, actually going to be really, really good, but oversized nails often was harder to go for than the top path, right? But it's pretty decent if you can use it properly, specifically if you're going for a double gun. Either which way, oversized nails now, attack applies to most other secondary attacks. So I think our sentry guns with faster engineering are ended up having very strong 9-inch nails, which is pretty absurd. I mean, this crap ton of zebras here, and he's actually popping a lot of them. This is a low-ish tier tower doing a lot of damage. Not unstoppable, don't get me wrong, but for the amount of money we spent on this thing, whew, that's pretty beeftastic. All right, moving on. We've got a few other changes here, man. Oh my god. So the Cold Sentry Pierce from 25 to 24, no idea why they did that. Sentry Champion Pierce from 7 to 10, what? So if you get the Sentry Champion here, which is already pretty good, 7 to 10 is just another big change here. And the reason why this is important is if you're buffing him, he becomes one of the most powerful towers in the game. So if you end up buffing this guy with one of these or Homeland Defense or something, it literally is one of the best towers in the game already. Making him even stronger is just kind of absurd in my opinion, specifically with the Pierce action, because that means we can shoot faster and still get more Pierce out of it. There's also a weird change to Cleansing Foam Pierce from 15 down to 14 and 30 down to 24 for the 4th and 5th tiers respectively. I don't think that matters too much, but maybe just like a smidge to make it so it's not automatic cam detection for everything. All right, I usually don't like talking about the Beast Handler, but these are fairly easy changes. So Great White Shark, which I can't show you, has a thrash radius increase from 10 to 15. The insta-kill cap is from 500,000 to 1 million, and the T-Rex ability is going to increase in cooldown, which makes sense because it was a pretty decent ability. You could stun things for a long time if you got a couple of these guys going for you. I usually don't like going over the hero updates too much because they just get changed so much, and oftentimes they're just not a huge deal. Like, people don't even really care about them. But just know that there are a lot of changes here. Gwendolyn got changes, Striker Jones, Oben Greenfoot, Captain Churchill, Admiral Brickle, Etienne, Sauda got changes. Corvus is probably the biggest change of them all. His base cost is going to go from 1,000 to 1,325 because he's just too good as a base tower, which kind of makes sense. He could just have global map damage doing crap. It's a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but like if you really want to pull off some sort of 1-tower, 2-tower chimps combo, he is one of the best in the game. So pay attention to that. There is, again, a lot of Rogue Legends changes as well, but I'm not going to go over those today. I want to make a specific video about this campaign. So if you guys have any ideas for me on how I could make a cool video for you guys, let me know, and I'd love to pull it off. Again, if you guys want to support me, I really appreciate a like. I really appreciate a subscribe. And last thing is, please use my creator support code. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. It supports me so much, and yeah, thank you. And have a super duper delicious day.